and Flom Railway is very well known, and I guess also here in Indonesia. For those who have not been so lucky to travel this route, can you tell what Norway in a nutshell exactly is?
Yes, Norway in a nutshell is the most solved road trip in Norway. It's based by public transport. It's very convenient. You can start from Oslo or Bergen. You can add accommodation on the way. And it includes the famous Fjord railway and the beautiful Fjord cruise from Trond to Gudvangen. And it's also operated every day all year round. So on the train and the Fjord cruise or products, we have about 70,000 doing this Norway in a nutshell per year. And it's an FIT product.
Sognefjord and Miss Heidi Haugen. Sognefjord for many is Flom and the Fjord cruise on the Fjord to Gudvangen. Which other places are worth exploring in this region?
Yes, the Sognefjord is the longest fjord in the world and the most famous of the fjords in Norway. And we are so lucky that we have a lot of Indonesian coming to us already. But it's much more than Flom. On the north side of the Sognefjord, we have fantastic small villages with actually Norwegian people living there, having their daily lives. So we can offer a lot from glacier hiking on Northern Europe's largest glacier. We have a visit to local farms that you can have a course to make the local food. We have production of cider, so you can visit a factory that makes cider. And we have a lot of companies that can take you kayaking, rafting, and go to small places where there are no tourists, but don't tell anybody.
We keep it in this room, right?
Yeah, keep it in this room. So we have a lot of activities in the Sognefjord. We have the highest mountains in Norway also, in Scandinavia actually, and I have the highest waterfall in Scandinavia, 275-meter free fall, the Bettifossen. Actually,
thank you. And then Selbo. Lofoten Islands, I guess for many, is not so well known here in Indonesia. So, Vegard, can you tell us, where is this?
Lofoten is over the polar circle. It is placed 68 degrees north, and it's an island chain, a mountain chain going out to the sea, actually with some of the oldest mountains in the world. Some of them date back 3.5 billion years old. So going out to sea, as the mountain does, it wasn't affected by the ice ages and the glaciers. So the mountains are very wild and rugged, and the way they were made 3.5 billion years ago.
Perfect, thank you. And then, Nordic EU, Ms. David Sartika, as a DMC, if you should travel to Norway in the wintertime and have unique experiences, where do you recommend us to go?
In wintertime, it always like the fjord area is nice, and normally we love Northern Lights. So you can go to Lofoten, for example, and Ålesund and Tromsø. There are a lot of choices. Just spend more time there. It cannot be done by only 2 or 3 days. Spend maybe a minimum 1 week, and then you will mostly experience the best view in Norway.
I like that you said spend at least 1 week. Thank you. And then, the last partner, Fjord Norway, Ms. Christina Vida. What is the role of Fjord Norway?
Fjord Norway is actually, I think, one of the most beautiful destinations in the world. To Fjord Norway does, for example, visit Sognefjord is part of the Fjord Norway region. We have some of the most famous fjords in the world in our region that are on the UNESCO heritage list, like the Geiranger Fjord and the Nero Fjord. We have beautiful fjord cities like Bergen, which is also part of the UNESCO heritage, Ålesund and Stavanger. So I think there's a lot to explore in our region, which is very big, and as it was mentioned before, we would also recommend to have Indonesian guests to spend at least a week in our region because there's a lot to see and explore.
Thank
It
you.
all depends on how you see it. To me, the dark season, which is between the 6th of December and the 6th of January, should actually be called the light season, because we have these beautiful sunsets and the light is just, or not sunset, because you don't see the sun, but the sun, the lighting is there for several hours. We call it the blue hour, where you have blue ocean, blue fjords, mountains which are covered in snow and are turned blue from the oceans. It's a sight for sore eyes. And I have to say, in September might be my favorite time of year, because we get the northern lights visible from September to March. So in September you can combine the summer activities with evening aurora hunting. So it's a beautiful time.
Very good. Paul, and how do I get there?
Myrtle is beautifully located at the foot of the mountain in the heart of the fjord area. We're only 35 minutes away from Flom and 2 hours north of Bergen. You can get there by bus, or you can take the train to Voss or to Flom, and we have a shuttle service in between those destinations.
Good, thank you. You swim there all year. And what other type of facilities do you have in your hotel?
We have 3 swimming pools at the hotel, and the longest one is 88 meters and it's outside, and it's 29 degrees the whole year around. We also have indoor tennis, squash and bowling, fitness and solarium as well, but solarium you're not so interested in as we Norwegians are. But the pools are a fantastic experience to swim in during the winter.
Thank you. And a visitor coming from far away, what can they experience in your hotel?
Well, we are not a hotel for locals only. We have a lot of variation, guests from all over the world. Remember, we are a resort. We have 2 hotels, and we also have the skylift. We have low and active that create all the activities in the area. 25 well-trained mountain guides. I call them mountain goats. And we are also having a lot indoor, because we are open all year. We are open all year. You can go from Ålesund to our place, from our place to Flom, from Flom to Bergen. That's a round trip. That's very good to visit from November until June. So we have a lot of things to offer. We also have a spa, and we have, of course, swimming pools as well, from indoor and out. And the hotel itself has been in the market since 1884, and it's a family-run hotel, and the 5th generation is still there. This makes it a special atmosphere, because you have the owner present. I won't tell you more. You have to come to my booth.
That's good. Keep something so that you'll come and visit you afterwards. Good, from 2 hotels. There is no star rating system in Norway to tell the quality of the hotels. But you have recently renovated, I think, all your hotels. Can you tell us a little bit more the massive renovation that you've been going through, and what type of guests you have in your hotels?
Yes, it's true that we have made a lot of renovations recently. So most hotels are now upgraded to 4-star or equivalent to 4-star properties. Our philosophy is that colors makes people happy, so we have put a lot of colors both in this design in the hotels, so both in wallpapers and paintings. And also we focus a lot on the breakfast. So Thun Hotels is known as one of the chains with the best breakfasts in Norway. When it comes to the type of clients, we have a lot of hotels in the city centers, and mainly corporate clients most of the year. But we welcome, of course, all type of guests.
Thank you. Mr. Tommelvik from DFD, a visitor coming from far away, what can they experience in your hotel?
Well, we are not a hotel for locals only. We have a lot of variation, guests from all over the world. Remember, we are a resort. We have 2 hotels, and we also have the sky lift. We have low and active that create all the activities in the area. 25 well-trained mountain guides, I call them mountain goats. And we are also having a lot indoor because we are open all year. We are open all year. You can go from Ålesund to our place, from our place to Flåm, from Flåm to Bergen. That's a round trip. That's very good to visit from November until June. So we have a lot of things to offer. We also have a spa, and we have, of course, swimming pools as well, from indoor and out. And the hotel itself has been in the market since 1884, and it's a family-run hotel, and the 5th generation is still there. This makes it a special atmosphere, because you have the owner present. I won't tell you more. You have to come to my booth.
That's good. Keep something so that you'll come and visit you afterwards. Good, from 2 hotels. There is no star rating system in Norway to tell the quality of the hotels. But you have recently renovated, I think, all your hotels. Can you tell us a little bit more the massive renovation that you've been going through, and what type of guests you have in your hotels?
Yes, it's true that we have made a lot of renovations recently. So most hotels are now upgraded to 4-star or equivalent to 4-star properties. Our philosophy is that colors makes people happy, so we have put a lot of colors both in this design in the hotels, so both in wallpapers and paintings. And also we focus a lot on the breakfast. So Thun Hotels is known as one of the chains with the best breakfasts in Norway. When it comes to the type of clients, we have a lot of hotels in the city centers and mainly corporate clients most of the year. But we welcome, of course, all type of guests.
Thank you. Mr. Tommelvik from DFD, you have 2 ships sailing between Oslo and Copenhagen daily. Are there any differences between the ships?
Well, the ships are quite similar. They're not totally identical, but very similar, and we have the same concept on board both ships. We have a lot of focus on very good food, high-end cuisine, as well as a lot of activities. And for the many Indonesian guests, we have a huge duty-free shop, and we can see that they spend a lot of money there, so very happy. And we had this year so far approximately 3,000 guests from Indonesia using DFDS as an alternative to short distance flying and 1 night at a hotel. So we actually save time by going on board in the afternoon, and you arrive in the capital of Norway or Denmark next morning at 9:45.
Good. Bengt from Mrs. Flom. If I come as an individual travelers and I do not saw the narrow roads, the Trollpin, Trollstigen, etc., is it easy to travel to Flom?
Yes, Flom is very well accessible. It's accessible by train from Oslo and Bergen all year. It's also along the main road, E16, from between Bergen and Oslo, and also by boat from Bergen. So we do have a lot of activities all year on, and our train, hotels, fjord cruise activities is running every day all year round. And we see also a big growth of Indonesians coming in the winter time, as we're very happy for, to see the snow and cold air.
Okay, thank you. Heidi, visit Sognefjord. Do you also have activities in the other areas in addition to Flom all year around? And if I come as individual, or do I need to come in a group?
No, you can come as an individual. You can take the express boat from Bergen, and then you can stop in a famous place called Balestrand. We have a historical famous hotel, Viknes Hotel. It's the largest wooden hotel in Northern Europe. There you can have a lot of activities. As I mentioned before, we have a lot of guiding companies can take you guiding in the mountains. We have fjord cruises, You can even fish Norwegian salmon. You can go deer hunting, and we have activities the whole year. If you go further in the fjord, the boat goes all the way to Sogndal and to Flåm. You can visit the glacier, you can visit waterfalls with a local guide, and you can have a meal outside. So we can prepare a lot of activities that are bookable online for individuals, so you don't have to come in a group, and it's very easy to access and book.
Thank you. Is in Europe or here in Asia? Why should they all come to Norway and bring guests to Norway?
It's the nature. The view is splendid. You have to experience it, and don't just the capital. You have to explore more. They have much more to offer. So, as I said before, spend more time, more days in Norway. You won't regret it.
Thank you. That's a good selling.
We're very easy to get to in a way. Being as far north as we are, you can combine us with the fjords. You can take the coastal line, Hurtigruten, from Bergen all the way up the Norwegian coast and go directly to one of our 2 ports in Lofoten. You can fly into Bodø or go by ferry or fast boat into Lofoten. You can also use the airport of Evenes, which gives you direct access with 1 flight from Oslo and into Lofoten. And also you can combine it with Tromsø and fly into Tromsø, either take a direct flight into one of the 2 small airports we have in Lofoten, or do the coastal line from north to south. So there's a lot of ways of getting there, and yeah, it's all the transport you do to get to Lofoten is through some of the most amazing fjords, through some islands and mountain ranges. So either you go by boat or bus or plane, you'll enjoy the transport, to be sure.
I think I'm on holiday. Because from my bedroom I can just open the curtains and then I see the mountains and the glaciers. So the reason I stay there, and I think for all the others, is the location, is the beautiful nature, the high mountains and the green turquoise lakes. They are so beautiful. Quiet, fresh air, and not crowded at all. Not many cars, you walk to your work. That's what I like about Lowell.
And the surroundings there, they're really, really nice. What is your favorite thing about sailing between Oslo and Copenhagen, which I know that you do quite often as well?
Quite a lot, yes. Absolute one of the favorites is if you see the Oslo Fjord in the morning time. So it's not only in Fjord, Norway, we have beautiful fjords in Norway. Certainly also the Oslo Fjord is very beautiful. If you choose to go from Oslo to Copenhagen, you will see the Oslo Fjord during the evening time, and the sunset is also very beautiful. So the Oslo Fjord, absolutely.
Thank you. Hans Edmund, as 5th generation, of course, you need to be very proud of your product, and you should be. It's a beautiful product. What is your favorite thing about either the hotel or Loftus?
Elizabeth said it quite well. Even though she moved there and stayed there for 30 years. I'm on my 46th year since I was born there. But it is what Elizabeth is saying. It is the fjords, the mountain, the glacier, the smell, the no traffic. You just walk around. We never lock our doors at home. All the houses are open. So just growing up there, being a youth, you know, if you want to have a good meal, you just go into this mother there and you empty the fridge. It's a free place for all of us. And it's also that for you, if you want to come. You go around, you buy the apples directly from the farmer or the apple juice. It is a fantastic, nice place to be.
There, in the winter times, it's a little bit less, but still you have many tourists coming to Flåm. What is your favorite time here in Flåm, and why?
As you said, in summer is our most busy period, but it's not full at all. But we are open and accessible all year round. Spring and autumn is especially very beautiful. Spring with a lot of snow melting and making big waterfalls with green and lush valleys and flowering. and autumn with all this red colored leaf. We see a big increase in wintertime as well, and many from Indonesia, as I said, and also from Thailand and other destinations that don't have this cold weather. So absolutely a whole year destination, and it's very important for us to have business all year round as a small destination to provide jobs for people all year round.
Yeah, I really like it myself. What is your favorite thing in Lofoten?
Well, it's hard to say. There's so many things you can do. I just love the fact that we have all through the year, all the seasons, so many soft adventures, so many products which I can bring my 5-year-old daughter to, and of course the nature. So I think one of my favorite times a year starts in September when we get the Northern Lights. It gets me every single time. I grew up in Lofoten. I've been there all my life, but every time the Northern Lights come on and I get to see it, it's something that for sure changes me. And the good thing about Lofoten is that we're so few people living there. There's no big cities. The biggest city has 4,700 people in it, and there's no light pollution. So when you're in Lofoten, of course, you can go and explore Aurora products, but the best thing is to have time, to have space, to enjoy the nature, because you can actually watch the Northern Lights from out the window of almost wherever you live. You can watch the Northern Lights. So yeah, that's my favorite time, September to March, the Northern Light season.
Thank you. Devi, you're not Norwegian. So
No,
what,
I'm not.
No. so what is your favorite thing about
As I said before, it's the fjord, the nature of the fjord. I know normally the Indonesians go to the Flom, always it's like a standard program. But actually if you go like to Kerala and if you have visit Loenskleid, if you go up there, you will be like amazing. Even the picture is not that pretty. And you can go also to see glacier by Cholka. That's very nice. And as we Indonesian, I know that we don't like hiking. It's not so many, like can say, hiking is so difficult, right? But in Norway, they have an easy track. You can even hike during autumn, in September. It's when you go up there, it's totally different. The fjord cruise is nice, but when you go up there, the view is spectacular. You have to experience it.
It's like the picture that we see behind you here. That's on the top, and then you have this very nice view, right? You can see the skerries and the top of the mountains.
Yes, it's not that scary, but it's splendid.
Christina, Fjord Norway, with the bigger cities, etc. What is your favorite place? If you can say your favorite place in your region.
It's actually very difficult for me to say. I'm also not Norwegian, so I just moved to Norway last year myself. I live in Bergen now, which is a city, which is a very nice place to meet the locals as well and to experience culture. But if it comes to like one of my favorite places, I would also say, like my colleagues mentioned before, the mountains, to go outside into nature, to experience fresh air, do some activities, go hiking, or just to enjoy one of the many fjord cruises that are available all year round. Even in winter time, the fjords are not closed during winter. You can come all year to our region. There are daily departures every day, several times a day. So yeah, I would say the fjords and the mountains is like my favorite place. Otherwise, wouldn't have moved there.
Thank you so much.